Доброго дня, шановні колеги.
Good afternoon, dear colleagues. Today we continue our project Diplomacy Without Borders. Today we have the Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary of Ukraine and Estonia, Viktor Kryzhanivskyy. Good afternoon, Mr. Kryzhanivskyy. Thank you for finding time for our meeting. Welcome to everyone who's there. On the 4th of January 2017, there will be 25 years of establishing diplomatic relations between Ukraine and Estonia. Estonia does not recognize the occupation of Crimea by Russian Federation, supports the territorial integrity of Ukraine, and this for full implementation of Minsk agreements. The government of Estonia approved the project of constructing the border according to which there will be modern equipment and the system of monitoring which will help to stop the transborder crimes. Estonia understands the problems and the challenges that Ukraine faces. What is Estonia saying about fighting aggression? Thank you. I would like to say that Estonia is one of our biggest friends, the friends of Ukraine, the partner, the ally of Ukraine. This is one of the countries which is ready to help Ukraine in any circumstances, and they are thinking that they want Ukraine to become stronger. This is the country which is ready to be with us without any preliminary conditions. They do not care about, it doesn't mean that they do not care about our internal development. They want us to move along the way of reforms as fast as possible so that we are strengthening our democratic institutions. These are the friends who are ready to wait, to give us time so that we implement reforms. But they forgive a lot because these are our friends. And we do all we can, and they help us. On the 4th of January, there will be 25 years of establishing diplomatic relations between our countries. And we are preparing some activities dedicated to that. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Klimkin, will congratulate us with that. In 25 years, Estonia and Ukraine has achieved such a level of relations, very good one. And the task of diplomats, wherever they work, is to make the country where they work and the country which they represent become friends, become partners, so that they have no disputes and differences. I'm in a more difficult situation than my colleagues. We have so good relations that it is difficult to improve them, but still we are trying to do it, because that is the task of any diplomat, any ambassador, to raise the relations at a higher level, and we are succeeding in that. Ukraine is one of the first countries that condemned the Russian aggression. I'm following these processes. Estonia, the day when Russian troops invaded Crimea, they came up with a statement in which they condemned the aggression of Russia against Ukraine, and they emphasized the importance of preserving integrity of Ukraine and withdrawing Russian troops from Ukraine. And this position hasn't changed within these years. Wherever where Estonia is, There is the voice of Estonia in support of Ukraine. Our bilateral contacts are very active. We had many visits, governmental visits that confirmed the position of Estonia. And all these years during which we have diplomatic relations with Estonia, these are the years of achievements. We had no problems, no issues that we would fail to address in a friendly manner. Today, Estonia is also concerned with the issues of security. In fact, if you look at the map, you will see that the location of Estonia, 380 kilometers of a common border with Russia, in water and inland. This is very important, and to prevent provocations, they want to do everything so that the provocations become impossible. You remember when the Russian special services kidnapped the representative of Estonian intelligence service from the territory of Estonia, but they are not building military fortifications along the border, unlike we do, because there's no aggression there. We hope this will never happen because they are the NATO country, but they have a different concept of defense. Mr. Muzhenko, Mr. Poltorak visited them, and after that, and we traveled to different places of Estonia. They showed us how they are building up their defense sector. And they said that they are not planning to build any fortifications along the border. They believe that this is not what needs to be done today, taking into account what modern armaments exist. There's a different tactic that is applied there, and that's according to NATO standards. But we have something to learn from that, talking about equipping the borderline with different technical equipment. The experts will come. There will be the exchange of experts, and they, I hope, will technically also help us to install such different types of equipment.
At the start of December, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Ukraine, Pavlo Klimkin, had a meeting with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, representative of Estonia. Did they have some preliminary agreements for further cooperation? Pavlo Klimkin was here in June this year, and they had the meeting with the President of Estonia and with the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Estonia. And now we have the new Minister of Foreign Affairs here, and also they had the meeting with the Speaker of the Parliament, and these meetings provide an opportunity to establish better cooperation and get continuous support of Estonia in supporting of territorial integrity and independence of Ukraine, and also the cooperation with international organizations was at the proper level, and we see the results of these agreements. Estonia became the co-author of the resolution of UNO concerning the rights of people in Crimea, and this work continues. And the last meeting of the minister was in December. Pavlo Klimkin, I mean the first, we would say, with a new Minister of Foreign Affairs of Estonia. And first, they confirmed the cooperation of Ukraine and Estonia in security issues, and also about the cooperation in the plans for next year. And Mr. Mixer will come to Ukraine next year. We do not know exact dates, but we hope that this visit will be soon, and also the visit at the highest level. Petro Poroshenko, the president of Ukraine, his visit to Estonia in the nearest future, and other issues as Intergovernmental Commission on Economic and Scientific and other issues. And a lot of other things were discussed, and the plan of work is really great, and we hope that it will be and we hope that next year we will have good results. And now we are writing the report, and it is good that we have a lot what to put in this report, and we hope that next year we will have also a lot of materials to put in our report. 2016, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, they provided the visit of 30 servicemen from Ukraine to Estonia. Yes, this is an important aspect of cooperation between Ukraine and Estonia concerning security and defense issues. Estonia accepted 40 wounded Ukrainian servicemen who now undergo rehabilitation. And this is free of charge for them. This is provided for the Ministry of Defense, and they contributed a lot. And 35 servicemen, they underwent this rehabilitation, and Estonia won't stop at this. And starting with March next year, they will continue this. And in winter, they do not do it because the location of the center is in the forest, and in winter it is in the remote area, and in winter there is a lot of snow and it's difficult to get there. That's why starting March they will continue this work. And everyone who underwent this rehabilitation, they were satisfied with the results. When I met them, I saw the condition, and then when we see them away, we see that they, for example, were in the wheelchair, and now they can walk, and, for example, they improved the conditions. So this is not just done for papers, but this is done for helping people in order to provide them with help. So they improved their physical state. It is known that Estonia also accepted 80 instructors on tactical medicine, but these courses were reduced. So do you know whether they're going to restore this? Yes, there are such courses. This is non-governmental program. This is a program supported by volunteers of Estonia that gather money for this. So this program is not financed from the budget. And the results of this work were impressive. Not 80, but even more instructors were trained, Ukrainian doctors. These are not just instructors that learned something and went. They spread their knowledge. These are instructors who deliver training. They spread their knowledge among other doctors. So they share their knowledge. You mentioned 80 instructors, but if we count the number of doctors they shared the experience with, maybe these are hundreds and thousands of doctors. This program won't be reduced, and we also held the event at the beginning of December at our embassy, and we awarded volunteers, Estonian volunteers, including those who work in this organization, due to which this work is done. We mean training of instructors. They bring people here, they accompany them here, and we awarded them with special awards, and we are and they are thankful that we support their efforts, and this program will continue next year, and the figures will be not less, and we hope that more attention should be paid to this from the side of official bodies, that the support be provided to the program, that it should be done not only by volunteers, because a lot of money is needed for this, because this is travel and training and everything else. So we hope that this will continue. Maybe figures will change, but it doesn't mean that this program is reduced.
Estonia joined the EU in 2014. What should be the Estonian experience, which would be useful for Ukraine? Estonia has been in the European Union for a certain period of time. From the information that I have from my friends and colleagues, I can tell you that Estonia was united. They believed that the state should join the European Union. And that is why that process was very normal, without any difficulties, because people understood where they are, what they are joining, what will they have. I mean, the democratic institutions will be created, the judicial system will be independent. That's what they wanted. And you know that the whole Estonia is 1,300,000 population. It was much easier for them to get everyone united around that idea to enter the European Union. Plus to that, there was a lot of explanatory work done, including, in everywhere in the country, in the West, in the East, on the border with Russia. There were experts who were telling people where they are going, why they are going there, what would be the perspectives for the country after they ascend the European Union. I believe that is what we lack, all this explanatory work in all the regions of our country. We need to do these awareness campaigns so that the people of our generation think about how their grandchildren will live, but not think about the Soviet past. And this is what the state, what we are thinking about. And today, the 60% of support is a lot, but we need to get more. If we take into account the conflict in Donbass with Russia, if in the past people understood more about NATO, about the European Union, we need to tell people about that NATO is our friend. Then, if people in Donbass knew what is the EU, what is NATO, then it would be much more difficult for Russians to find assistance on the territory and allies on the territory of Ukraine. That is why this explanatory work, this awareness work is to be done more actively. But that is something that is done already. Our experts come to Estonia. They meet with those people who were involved into the process of Euro integration of Estonia, and they know that they are collecting all the materials and they use them in their everyday work. That is done already. And how? And what are the problems? I wasn't told about what problems they had on that way. No one was attacking them. No one invaded them or attacked them. They didn't have the problem that we have. No one was trying to punish them for that. There were some maybe technical issues, probably yes, but they were of a different nature. And they did not influence really the process of Euro integration. How often do the Estonian mass media talk about Ukraine? Practically every day, Estonian mass media have information about Ukraine. Maybe it's not always very positive. There is different type of information, but most of that is very positive. Estonia has had a very strong influence of Russian propaganda, but people are pro-European despite their ethnic origin. They are all understand that the country should stay within the European Union, but there is quite a strong Russian propaganda here. There are many Russian language publications, TV channels. They cover practically the whole territory of Estonia. Unfortunately, we cannot compete with Russians, even though we are trying to strengthen the presence of Ukrainian mass media in Estonia. That is why we do have the Ukrainian publications are present there, but Russian mass media, they write about Russia and Ukraine, but here they are not lying very openly. They're trying to find some balance. If there is something when they write about Crimea and Donbass, then the embassy is getting involved. We organize meetings, we explain our position. So we do a lot of work so that such publications, biased publications, are not published, so that everything is objective. But this is good that they talk about us. And if we take Estonian language publications, then the picture is different. This is absolutely pro-Ukrainian position. They condemn everyday Russian actions. So we report to Kiev regularly, just like all the embassies, about the media space, and we mentioned that there are no anti-Ukrainian materials here. Any questions?
Yulia Volfovskaya, UCMC. Mr. Ambassador, tell us, please, what is political mosaic of the parties in the parliament? So the consolidated position of Estonia concerning Russian aggression equals to European Union position, or is there separate positions of parties towards this issue? Thank you for this question. If someone believes that, and maybe I give grounds for this idea in my interview. So if someone believes that Estonia is 100% pro-Ukrainian state and we don't need to have any concern, and they support us So this is not the case, absolutely. And I would like to say that definitely in the parliament there is a Reform Party, but also Social Democratic Party and the Republic Party. So these are 100% support Ukraine, but also there is centrist party that has close ties with the United Russian Party, and also they signed a memorandum on cooperation between two parties 10 years ago, and they so there is this centrist party. The leadership of this party, they try to preserve good relationship with Russia, no matter what, because the electorate is Russian-speaking population of Estonia and ethnic Russians. And of course they try, because of political reasons, they try to make some declarations and carry out some policy in order to preserve the electorate. But the positive side, there was some crisis. I won't take much time about on this. So there was political crisis, and the government was reformatted 2 months ago, and the new government is now in office. And the Prime Minister, Jüri Ratas, is the head of centrist party. So the former head was removed, and now the new leader is there. And when the crisis in the parliament arose, they were proposed to join new coalition and to head the government. And there was some concern. And I reported to Kiev every minute what was going on. And I had some concerns that because Prime Minister is the representative of centristic party that was pro-Russian party, and we had concerns that there will be some changes in foreign policy. And you know that the government in Estonia is responsible for foreign policy. And I had some concerns, real concerns about it. And even Kiev, there were some concerns. But then, when they joined the coalition, together with Social Democrats and Republika Party, and the first declarations we heard, these were similar declarations. They were not changed concerning foreign policy. Yes, there are some different approaches to domestic policy. But this party headed by Mr. Ratas, they continue the policy of the previous government and even a coalition agreement. They stated concerning Ukrainian foreign policy that foreign policy won't be changed. And it is envisaged directly about Ukraine that Estonia will continue to support Ukraine and help to defend territorial integrity and independence and fighting Russian aggression. And when I held some presentations for the representatives of this party, and I have a lot of friends then everywhere, and they said, "Oh, Viktor, don't worry, foreign policy concerning Ukraine won't change." And what is good is that this centrist party, it will be going a little bit to the right. It won't be the party as it was before. And now it will become a party a little bit that this process is going to the right direction, and I greet this because this will be good for Ukraine and for Estonia. It will be useful because today I believe Estonians understand the importance of unification and to prevent situation that happened in our country. So they have 101 deputies, 6 parties, 6 factions in the parliament, and centrist party, 26 people. So this is big number. And at the same time, I would like to say that foreign policy of the state won't change. Thank you very much. Thank you for being with us, and we wish you success in all your future projects. Marta, I would like to greet with the forthcoming holidays. I would like to greet you and the journalists who are with you, and I would like to wish you all the best in New Year, that Ukraine overcome Russian aggression and the stability established. And the main, I would like to stress this, that journalists, they maybe face this every day, and I wish that we become a state that don't really care about the president's party's sanctions, and I would like to wish that we started this going this way, that we should be reinforced, and we should be self-sufficient, strong economy, strong army, and that we could defend ourselves no matter what happens in other countries. Thank you very much. Ukraine Crisis Media Center also greets you with the New Year and Christmas, and we wish and we thank you for your work. Thank you.
Выключати?